You mentioned, free thinker, and if we don't want to put this in the mag, that's fine as well. In regards to COVID, there's so much shenanigans going on in regards to it. What are your thoughts on the COVID and the quarantine?
I mean, I'm someone who, prides myself. I do a lot of research. I don't, pay too much attention to the mainstream. I watch it, obviously, but I also try to delve into other shit. And this is something that I haven't been able to find any correct information. Every piece of information I find, I can contradict. Everything the government says, they contradict. I'm still wrapping my mind around it, but the more I think about it, the more I think it was just a giant excuse because they spent all our money and they ruined our country, and now nobody's going to blame it on the politicians. They're all blaming it on COVID-19 and riots. So they're masterful at doing that. And I don't know anybody. In Florida, we didn't get hit bad, and I don't know anybody who had it. And nobody I knows anybody who had it. And it's hard to be concerned about something that doesn't affect anybody when it's destroying livelihoods and businesses.
Well, I had it back in January.
Did you get tested? Did you get tested and you had it?
Yes.
And how was it?
I used to be a smoker. I started smoking in 2000 when I was 25. And I'm 37 now. And I stopped smoking. Just stopped smoking. It wasn't. It just stopped because I couldn't smoke because of. And when I say smoke, cigarettes. I smoke cannabis as well, but I haven't smoked since But I haven't smoked since I had it. I had a fever of 103.7, and I had real bad chills. But
it was. You didn't have to go to the hospital, or?
No, I was about to go to the hospital because my fever was just it was 103.7 for, I would say, 3 hours. But then I took some sort of aspirin, ibuprofen, or something, and it broke it, and then I was better. I could have still went and did things. It wasn't debilitating. It wasn't. The worst thing out of everything was the chills. I was just so cold, I couldn't get warm. I wore 3 sweaters and I had 5 blankets on me. I just couldn't get warm. And that's the worst of it.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously it affects people differently, but, having really bad chills, is that worth 40 million people losing their jobs?
No, not at all. At all. And that's why, it's hard to even go on social media, especially, you have a business or you have something you need to market, and all you see is just a bunch of fucking idiocracy and idiots acting like they know what's going on and scaring everybody. And
yeah, it's become, never before in the history of the United States would you have a national catastrophe and you'd have half the media telling you one thing and half the media telling you the complete opposite. That's not even reality. This is allegedly a national crisis. It should be nothing but truth coming out, and it's exactly the opposite, which makes me think it's a bunch of fucking bullshit.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. I'm 100% with you. All right, I have 5 questions left. You talked about your research. Where do you go, especially in today's environment where everyone thinks they're expert at everything, and there's so many options for news and places to go for research? Where do you go for yours?
I mean, it's really hard. I mean, I try, I go to the mainstream news sites on the left and the right so that I can see what the morons are being exposed to on each side, and then I try to find sites in the middle, that are, alternate. Just that don't have a stake in the game and aren't preaching this left-right bullshit. It's hard, though, man. It's hard, but you can find it out there. There are actual articles of truth if you fucking really, really search. And that's why you can't really blame people for being ignorant. It's you can't find the truth. And this COVID thing, I've been researching it for the whole time, and I was I couldn't tell you what the fuck's going on. But normally I can. Normally I'm ahead of the game. And I can tell people, like when the housing crash happened in 2008, I'd been telling people for 2 years, it's like, get real, people. This $180,000 house that is now priced at $700,000, that's not going to last. And it was pretty easy to research that and see what was going to happen. But this COVID thing, I mean, and then you look in the news and, it's QAnon and it's the deep state against Trump. They've got so many theories out there. The mainstream media is throwing so much shit out there. How is anybody supposed to know what's real? And then that's when they got you by the balls. So I tell everybody, Tim, enjoy life right now because it's still pretty good, but you never know what they got in store for us. This is a bunch of bullshit.
You mentioned QAnon, and you talked about doing research. What is your opinion on that? As far as I'm concerned, QAnon is either an answer or just some more bullshit. And if it's more bullshit, then I'm ready to just pack it in and say fuck the government and then just me live my life and not even care. Like, just let them do what the fuck they're gonna do.
I think QAnon is just another thing that's thrown out there so that people, you can confuse the public because there's definitely a segment of the population who's going, the reason Trump's doing so bad is because of the deep state conspiracy to destroy his presidency, when actually he wants to change everything and arrest the pedophiles and change the entire, way we do things. And it's like, so what do you believe? I don't know what to believe. I would say I would give QAnon a 0.05 chance of being true, but I don't say 0%.
Yeah. It's a good theory, whoever created it, if it's real or if it's fake, fucking creative as fuck.
Yeah, well, the government, I believe everything's put out by the government, and they know what the hell they're doing. And it certainly absolves Trump from a lot of shit if he's really just a stooge or a puppet or an idiot or whatever. It absolves him of that because, hey, Trump tried his best to save the country, and the bad guys wouldn't let him do it. So you're never going to win in America. There's always an excuse for the politicians. It was always the other side. And so what? Let's elect a Democrat so we can go further in the shitter, just like we've been doing for the last 20 years. I don't vote anymore.